Dun, dun, dun. Sink, sink. So, um, earlier the wind and like when I went outside too, I think when I was inside my apartment earlier, the wind was sinking. Like it was just like blowing up against the window. Like I just hear it like woo, just like hear it howling in the window or whatever. It's like blowing up against the building sink, and it kept doing it. Uh, and then I think it was sinking when I went back outside again, and then I went to the grocery store, and then uh, there was the beep was beeping synced again, as it always is when I go in there. Somebody just walked by in the hallway, probably synced again. Somebody walked by in the hallway like right when I was starting the live stream too. My refrigerator just turned on right now. It's probably synced, as it always is. It's probably like synced with me finishing saying what I was saying. It's like right when I stopped talking. But anyway, when I was at the grocery store, the beep was beeping synced, and then I go to the back, and I hear the beep again, and then I hear this guy. Like right after the beep, I hear this guy. I think he said beep, like up at the front of the store somewhere. I heard a guy. I think he said that. It was right after the beep, and then also right after the beep, this guy walks up by me, and he's got a camo coat. And then he was syncing on me a bunch of times, and then like him and a bunch of other people were like forming this line at the checkout before I walk up to it, probably to like delay me, whatever. But I don't give a fuck, whatever. And then I went to the bank, to the ATM, the cash check, uh, from work yesterday, and today, like I went to cash check on the way back from the grocery store, and then there's this truck that pulled up with an 888 license plate, and then he's just like sitting at the back. Like they'll always do this. Like I don't know if they're like getting their things together in their car or whatever before they pull up to the window or whatever. But they always do this, and then they drive synced, where they'll just like sit at the back of the parking lot before they drive up to the window. And then so he did that. He pulled up. He just sat there, and then like I walk up to the ATM, and then I think it was like right as I finished at the ATM, he's driving. He just like sits there for a long time, and then he drives up to the window, synced. So, and then I don't remember what else I saw. There was a sink bird that flew over my head when I was walking. There was somebody that like walked out of a door right as I walked by, and they're like just like almost run right into me as I walk by the door, and it was like, oh, sorry. uh, there was somebody that was like walking up to the crosswalk across the street from me, like stepping off the curb across the street from me. When I walked by the crosswalk, she had a red shirt, and a bunch of other things were happening at the exact same time. And I don't remember what else. I try not to remember what else, So I don't remember. Let me think. I don't know. A lot of things. Oh yeah, I turned this corner and like I just turned a corner randomly. That like I think threw them off a little bit because they're just like it took them like a little bit to catch up, but not long because I'm walking, so it doesn't take them that long to catch up. But I think it threw them off a little bit because I just randomly turned. And then I've done that like when I was delivery driving at Domino's when I used to work there. I would like take a like I would be going like the way that I normally go, like especially if it's like a place that I've been before, like I normally go up all these streets or like they know the streets that I would usually take to get to a place, right? So like I'll just take another street all of a sudden, I'll just turn all of a sudden, and then it would take them like maybe a block or two to catch up, but then they would catch up pretty fast though. But it would be like nothing. There would be nobody on the street anywhere, nobody walking or anything. I see chemtrails outside and I see stalkers outside and I think I hear the train horn. I hear the train horn. I wasn't institutionalized. I don't trust. I've never trusted the institutions. Even before I knew it was targeted. Well, I've kind of always known I was targeted to the thing, but not like this. I didn't know everybody was a sock puppet. And I kind of always knew that the psychologists and whatever were like in cahoots. I see the Veterans Home van again, or no, it's the Ponca Express van again. You see, I saw the Veterans Home van on the video this morning, and then I saw the Veterans Home van at work yesterday, synced at an intersection. I think I recorded that too. I'll have to look back at my videos from yesterday. So, Veterans Home vans always synced. The Ponca Express vans are always synced. Ask some questions, ask away. I see a bunch of synced cars right now. I see a truck. What was it? Construction truck of some kind, a white truck, and then my water heater is turning on synced with it, going around the corner. And there was a bunch of whiteys synced with it, and there was a white truck. That's not our question. Thanks, though. Dang, I see a lot of chemtrails. Is that why it's so windy? A lot of times it would be like clear sky. Like it was a clear sky yesterday. It was windy yesterday though too, I guess. But sometimes it'll be like a clear sky, it'll be like calm, no wind or anything. And then they'll spray a bunch of chemtrails, and then it'll start to get windy. And then it'll be windy like the next like 3 days and cloudy. And you can watch the chemtrails turn into clouds throughout the day. You can see it with your eyeballs. Like if you just look up away from your phone for 5 seconds, you can see it with your eye holes. I was wondering if you have any surgeries or dental operations that they could have implanted you. When your targeting start? I don't know when my targeting started. It's definitely been at least 5 to 10 years that they've been synchronizing on me when I look back. I don't know if they went more overt when I started to realize or what, but when I look back, there was synchronizers in my life, synchronized around me doing stupid synchronizer shit. At least like 5, 10 years. So I don't know if it's been my whole life or what. And then yeah, I got fillings in my teeth a long time ago, but and then I got like they made my nosebleed synced, and then I had to go get it cauterized. And I wonder if they like stuck a microchip up there. I don't think so though, but like they don't need to do that though. They spray nanoparticles in the chemtrails and shit. There's nanoparticles, nanobots or whatever in everything, like in everybody and everything. So I don't think they need to. I think they probably do things like that maybe, but I don't think they have to do that though to implant people anymore. Like, they probably used to do that a lot, but now they don't have to. That's what I think. But I still wouldn't get a microchip implanted in me willingly or a Neuralink. Even though we're already microchipped and Neuralinked up in a way, I think. So, like how DB talks about how they can see through your eyes. I think they can see through your eyes. I think they can hear what you hear and all that. And they can definitely see my dreams. I don't know if they project things in my dreams or whatever. They definitely see my dreams and sync things up with them. And they'll sync up when I open my eyelids in the morning sometimes, and they'll sync up. Or if I'm just like sitting there with my eyes closed and I open my eyelids, they'll sync up with it sometimes. And they'll sync up like if I'm just laying still, they'll sync up with my breathing sometimes, or they'll sync up like if like my stomach rumbles or whatever. Like sometimes that'll happen, and then the door will be opening in the hallway at the same time. And then a lot of times, like when I burp, it seems like it's like the gas is trapped. Like I swear to God, it's like the gas is trapped, and then it comes out when I walk up to an intersection or something like that, or when a stalker drives by, or whatever, when the sound. Like I'm sitting in an apartment when the sound goes off or whatever. So like I think they can like make you like have to take a shit all of a sudden or like things like that. And probably everybody, like I said, like probably even like the stalkers and whatever, and like they probably like implant thoughts into people's heads like I want a McDonald's cheeseburger right now. And people go get a McDonald's cheeseburger and they think it's their own thought, but it's the CIA. My refrigerator just clicked. This red car pulled up and parked as a bunch of other red cars were driving by. It's parked, pointed at me in the parking lot. A bunch of other stalkers drove by. And there's my nose bleeding. Read the other comments. Still have to. I don't know, man. But yeah, when my nose bleed, it was like 2022, November 2022. They just got out of the red car and honked it synced. And this other guy was walking, he looked synced, and these two other cars are driving in the parking lot now synced. And then the one's turning as the other one drives by me synced. And then there's other cars behind him on the street synced. But yeah, one night it was like right after I figured out all the gang stalking shit. It was like a month after, and like I was just like figuring out more and more shit, and then like I was at work, and it was like the day that I realized that like all my coworkers are stalkered up, or like I think I just thought it was like a couple of them at first or whatever, and then I was like, oh shit, it's all of them. And it was like every time I would walk through a doorway at work, somebody else is walking through the doorway at the same time, which happened like every night pretty much. Or like almost every time I would walk through the doorway, something would happen, or they'd be making a sound or whatever. But usually somebody would be walking up meeting me at it. It's like a doorway like to the back kitchen from the other room. And then like you walk out and there's these other doorways. So like when I walk out, there's a other doorway across the room, and like there's other people walking through those doorways. Seems like almost every time. So I started to notice all that, and then I came home and I was about to make a video and talk about it. So like I start the live stream, and right at that moment when I start the live stream, I'm about to start talking, and I should have kept the live stream, I guess, evidence, but I deleted it because I was just like, I don't want to see that. But literally at the start of the video, my nose just starts bleeding, like right as I'm about to start talking. My nose just starts pouring blood like profusely. And then so like I was like, oh shit, and I like poured blood all over my laptop. It didn't ruin my laptop or anything, like I didn't get it on the keys, but it was like all over the laptop, all over the floor and everything. So then I called the ambulance because it wouldn't stop bleeding. And they come, and then like when they come, it stopped bleeding. I don't know if it stopped bleeding synced or what, but like it stopped bleeding. They they just like pulled up with the ambulance, and I was like, it stopped bleeding now, so whatever. Maybe it's just whatever, you know. So then I think it was the next night or like a couple nights later or something. I'm walking around recording and it starts bleeding again. Like as I walk in front of the door of my apartment building, it starts bleeding again. So then, and then that time it wouldn't stop bleeding. It just kept bleeding like profusely. I thought I was gonna die. And then I called the ambulance again. I told him to go to the back door. And then, so like I go out to the back door, I wait, and then I hear them coming, but then they went to the front door instead of the back door. Like they asked me on the phone, they were like, should we go to the front door or the back door? I was like, back door. And they went to the front door. So like I walk up to the front door to go meet them, and then like I run up there, and then I come out and they're gone. So I call them again and like they left. And then they come back, like it was probably just to troll me, just to make me wait with my nose bleeding. And then, so the ambulance came back, they picked me up, I had to go get it cauterized, the ER, and there was stalkers following me the whole way. I think it was a one light, I don't know if it was a one, it was like a whitey or something following me the whole way. Like following right behind the ambulance. Like I'm sitting in the back looking out the back window. And then there was the yellow Volkswagen Bug that is always synced. I haven't seen it in a while, but I'll see it again synced someday. Or I saw it like a couple weeks ago or something. It was always synced, and it always used to have one light, or like maybe there's two different yellow Volkswagen Bugs, but one of them has one light or whatever. It always used to have one light all the time. So it was sitting outside when I came out of the ER, when I come out of the hospital. It's sitting out in the parking lot with one light on, with the driver's door open, just sitting there pointed at the door of the hospital building. And then it just sat there the whole time. It didn't do anything. It just sat there, and I left, and it didn't do anything. So, yeah, they made my nosebleed synced with a directed energy weapon or some shit. Didn't hurt or anything. It just like started bleeding. I just like feel it dripping. All of a sudden, I'm like, oh shit. The doctor said it was like ruptured. Like he's like, it can be caused by the cold weather or whatever. Like, it was really cold that night, but like, so like maybe it was like that, and then they hit it with the frequency, it like exacerbates it or whatever. It's like that plus the cold or something. I don't know. It was synced both times though. That's all I know. I see a bunch of red cars and white cars right now. I see a bird that looks synced. No, that was a leaf. Never mind. Sometimes the leaves look synced though. Not gonna lie. I don't know what that is. If it's the wind sinking it or what, but sometimes the leaves do look synced when they drop down in front of me and shit. Just saying. Sometimes it does look synced. A lot of the time it does look synced. So I don't know. I don't know if I literally live inside of a video game or what, but just saying. But definitely, like little cotton balls that fly around are synced for sure. Like I saw that yesterday too. I saw like a cotton ball, piece of cotton thing flying through the air synced. It's like always synced every time I see that. So that's definitely synced. I don't know about the leaves, but I don't know. I don't know if they got Westworld trees out here or something. Like, I don't know what the fuck's going on. Just saying what I see though. I see blue and red cars in whitey right now. Giving some covert to overt. I don't know. I think they were doing things already. I just didn't realize it. Because, like, when I look back, people were definitely doing things and I didn't realize it. But they might have went more over it when I started to realize it. I don't know. It's definitely extremely overt now, though. That's all I know. Start reeling. So let me think. What happened this morning when I woke up? I think I heard sounds outside. Like the last few days when I wake up, I just hear like quiet sounds. So like I think this morning I heard like something out in the parking lot. I was like, like right after I get up out of bed. And then like my neighbor's toilet was flushing sink the other morning, like yesterday morning or whatever. Like when I walked into the bathroom, he's like on the other side of the wall. He's flushing his toilet sink like a couple times. So it's been like quiet sounds when I wake up the last few mornings, or I'll just hear like tapping on the wall. I'll just hear that all the time. I've been hearing that like more frequently lately, and like it's usually when I like lay down to go to bed. Or some other synced up moment throughout the day. Usually multiple times throughout the day I'll hear that. I see a guy walking out with a red shirt, being synced. He's getting in the car. Did he do it synced? Oh shit. He got in a blue car with a red shirt. Is that a sync? He got on the passenger side of it. So the guy in the driver's seat have a blue shirt. Oh. I hear a vacuum out in the hallway. It's usually synced. When I hear that. Just saying, it usually sounds synced when I hear it. I get a frequency in my ear right now, synced. Or I don't know if it's synced, but got frequency in my ear. It's the sync machine. Shooting frequency. Radiating me terroristically. implanted network is sync to the grid. Your Pokemon Go character in augmented reality prison. Yep. Um, um, what's my Pokemon name? Meowth. What's the one? What's it called? Mewtwo. I'm Mewtwo. You see a silver car driving through the parking lot and out the other side, and he syncs with the whitey when he gets over there that's driving into the parking lot. And there's this guy unloading a truck, and he's doing it synced with the whitey now. He's doing sync things a bunch of times as he unloaded the truck, and now he's closing the door on the truck. Synced with the whitey. He's back at the truck. And then he's gonna get in the truck. He's getting in the truck right now. There's another guy opening the passenger door as he gets in the truck. And Whitey is parking behind him as he gets in the truck. And it's a white truck. Little Whitey thing. And this other guy walked in the building. I think that was the guy from the truck. He got back out again. He walked in the building synced with the Whitey, getting something out of the back of the Whitey SUV. Behind the guy as he goes in the building door. And then he's probably gonna close the trunk on the Whitey when the guy comes back out the door in front of him or something. He's closing it. He hit the button on it. It's closing slowly, and then as it closes, there's these birds flying out in front of me, over the Whitey. And there's these other birds flying over my head, and there's a white SUV driving through the intersection at the same time. Let's see. So, you got any more questions or anything? Thank you for sharing your story, Malvon. What do you see? Do you see all the same things I see? Red shirts and black and silver and red and blue and ambulances and shit? Or do you get different patterns than I get, or what? Because a lot of TIs see the same patterns, we all, me and King Jr. and Targeted Journey and DB and a bunch of other people. We all see red shirts, camo, the leopard print, the ambulances, fire trucks, cops, the FedEx, the UPS, the mail truck, the one headlights, we all see these things. And then Targeted Journey talked about red and blue sinks and the black and silver sinks. I started noticing it after watching your videos talking about it. So we all see these things. We all see the same things. like all the time, every day. We all see dog walkers. Like we each have 100 videos of synced dog walkers with red shirts and camel hats on at the same time or whatever. And then a FedEx drives by. And he's got his arm out the window. Like we all see these things. So do you see all those things? And do you see synced lightning and thunder? Because I'm the only one apparently that sees synced lightning and thunder. And synced wind that I've talked to. So I don't know if anybody else gets synced lightning and thunder and wind. But I get synced lightning and thunder and wind. And then sync rain. Like it's happened a few times with sync rain, or maybe they sync things up with the rain. I don't know, but the wind and the lightning and thunder definitely sync. Well, it started raining when I walked up to the intersection one day too, so I think the rain does sync. Or it was syncing when I was delivery driving at Domino's too, I think. Like when I would drive through an intersection, it would start raining. So the weather syncs on me. I don't know about anybody else, but it does. On me, for sure. We all see U-turns, and we all see like a bunch of other things. It's crazy how we all see the same things. Like we each have 1,000 videos of all the same things. And I have 322,000 videos of 322 license plates and C22 license plates and 223 license plates and whatever. And 33 license plates and 42 license plates. And 64 license plates and 84 license plates and 666 license plates and A113 license plates and A13 license plates and 113 license plates and 1113 license plates and 1234 license plates, 321 license plates, and all other license plates. I got like 321 million of them, videos of them, repetitively every day at synced up moments, specifically perfectly synced up. Every day, synced. And all other TIs have those too, like have like license plate videos, whatever numbers they see. Might be different numbers than I see or whatever, but they're always synced. Yes, I do see all these things I have gone through. Provoking. What's that movie? I need to look that up. I've heard it before. Pavlov. No. What's in me? Trauma-based mind control, using colors, hand signs, lights out, and synchronicity. And yes, I get synced lightning and thunder. Finally, someone else gets synced lightning and thunder. Do you have any videos? But finally, someone else said they get synced lightning and thunder. I don't know if you got any videos or if you're a real TI. Because there's a lot of fake TIs out here. I'm not saying you're fake, but there is a lot of fakes. So show us some videos, show us you're real. I don't have a lot of videos of the synced lightning and thunder, but I got a few of them. It's usually when I'm walking around the rain, so I can't record. But there's like one video where I was in my apartment like this talking, and the thunder like synced when I walked through the doorway, and like a few other times on the video, I think the thunder synced. You can hear it. And I think I've got a couple other videos of sync lightning and thunder, but it's like every time there's a thunderstorm though, it sync lightning and thunder. I think I heard sync thunder the other day when it was raining a lot. Just one time, I just heard thunder one time. I think it was thunder or some type of sync sound, whatever it was, like a banging sound or whatever. I think it was synced, whatever it was. It might have been thunder. I don't know. But like they'll just sync thunder like with me doing things inside of my apartment, like how they sync like engine sounds or car alarms or whatever. Like I'll just hear thunder like right when I stand up or right when I walk through the doorway or right when I do a thing or whatever. I'll just hear thunder just like so, and then when it's fireworks season, it's sync fireworks, and then even after fireworks season, I'll hear sync fireworks illegally going off. And I'm like, somebody should call the cops. That's illegal. But it is the cops though. Oh yeah, and then like I was saying about fake TIs, like it's like only YouTube I think is where I found like real TIs that I can tell. Like on Facebook, they have a bunch of TI pages. I'll still post on them sometimes. Like I'll post my videos or whatever. Cause I'm sure there's other real TIs on there, and like they at least like are on there and they see things or whatever. They might not post on there. But it seems like almost everyone that posts on there is like a fake TI, or they're like, I got off the TI list. Hit this link and you can get off the TI list too. Like, there's like a million of those on Facebook. And then like on Twitter too, there's like a bunch of fake TIs. And I saw this video on Twitter. I don't know if she's a fake TI or a real TI, but she's like, what'd she say? She's like, I went to a psychiatrist and they diagnosed me as schizophrenia, but they said that I don't have a lot of symptoms of schizophrenia, but they still diagnosed me as schizophrenia and whatever. And like, I don't know if she's a fake TI or what, but they'll have like fake TIs like saying things like that to like mislead people or whatever. Like they'll have them like saying to like go see a psychiatrist, or they'll have them saying like I'm gonna go fuck a gang stalker up or whatever. Like they'll just say things like that to like mislead people. I think like those be like an agent. So like on YouTube, like I've looked around on Instagram. I'm sure there's probably some real TIs on TikTok, because a lot of people are on TikTok. I don't know. But like on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, it seems like it's like 99% like fake TIs. Or like the algorithm won't let me connect with the real ones or something. I don't know. But like on YouTube though, I found a lot of real TIs, and that's how like I woke up to it too. Like I found like gang stalking simulation and shit. So the real gang stalking and like all the other ones I mentioned and a bunch of other ones. So like, you know, they have footage of gang stalking. They have a lot of footage of gang stalking. Like me, like if I was a fake I would still be like technically like a real TI because like I'm recording like every day. Like they're at least synchronizing on me like as I'm recording. So like if it's every day, I'm basically a real TI at that point. At least for an hour every day. but but like if they don't have videos though, then like I can't trust that you're a real TI. Really, like you might be, but if you have a bunch of videos of synchronizers, then you're probably a real TI. So YouTube is where it's at for the TI, for real TIs, as far as I can tell. I haven't found any on other sites. Or I haven't found a lot of them at least. Like, you'd think there'd be more on Twitter. There might be, but like the algorithm might not let me find them. I don't know. But like, I don't know. There's a lot of fake ones though, and there's a lot of them that are just like misleading people, like I said. Yes, there are a lot of fake TIs out there. I'm not one of them, but I understand your feelings. I feel the same way about everybody. Dude. Yeah, that's the other thing is like I don't know. I don't even know who's real. But like to all the real TIs out there, like have discernment, obviously, and like just because someone says they're a TI doesn't mean that they are or whatever. Or just because they record a white car in a parking lot that's sitting there, and they're like, there's a lot of channels like that where they're just like, they just have like a few videos up, and they'll just like record a car sitting in a parking lot, and they're like, this is a stalker. Or something like that, or just someone walking by it, but like they don't show them synchronizing or anything. They just like find somebody with a red shirt or whatever. Like, there's a lot of channels like that on YouTube too. But like, we'll just post a picture up and they'll be like, "This is a stalker." It's just like somebody walking a dog or whatever. But if you got synchronizers in your videos and you got like 100 FedExes synchronized, then I'm like, okay, I think you're probably real. It's part of the program is to keep the TIs apart. Yes, yes, exactly. They diagnosis all of us under, and then I've said this before too. Like I think if I linked up with a TI, they would probably sync up things around each other to make us think that each other is synchronizing or whatever. Or like as I do a thing or as I cough, there will be a FedEx driving by or whatever. Be a car honking. they diagnosis all of us under the classification of mood and behavioral disorders. We're all classified as bipolar with personality, schizophrenia, autistic, or just criminals. This is the lens that all stalkers view us. They dehumanized us long ago and believe we're incapable of existing or in accepting our diagnosis. I am working to reverse engineer the technology being used to help me find a way to cope when we get free. Gonna reverse engineer it. Tell us when you figured out what you did. I need a, what does K Reno say? I need a G17 skill gun. He said, what's that? I said, I've never heard of that. I said, I just made it up. Go build one. G719 skill gun. The chemtrails are spreading out in the clouds now. They were chemtrails a minute ago, and now they're clouds. They're spreading out, and they're gonna be spread out across the whole sky probably, and they're gonna block the sun. There's this whitey taking off way in the background, synced with this truck driving by, and then there's this construction vehicle driving by, synced with a red car. It's like an orange vehicle, synced with a red car. It's like yellow orange, I guess. It's like school bus color. But they'll sync orange and red things all the time, so that's why I said that. I don't know. Could have been a color sync. Who knows? They know. I don't know. This other truck took off synced off the side of the street. There's a bunch of other cars synced, and they're synced. Oh. So, yep, every day you can watch the clouds. If you just look, you know, maybe you're at work, you're busy, but if you go outside on your break, smoke a cigarette, and you look up at the clouds, or at the chemtrails, just look away from your phone for 2 seconds, you can see it. The chemtrails, they turn into clouds. People act like it's a conspiracy theory. It's not. And then if I post something on YouTube and say chemtrail, if I post something, I don't know about other sites. It seems like it's just YouTube or maybe Instagram too, I think. But and maybe TikTok. I'm never on TikTok. I don't have TikTok, but on YouTube though, if I post a video and I title it chemtrail, it'll have like a fact check thing under it. But yet in Dubai, California, and probably a bunch of other places, they're like openly cloud seeding, admitting to it. They're cloud seeding, which is spraying chemicals out of planes to make clouds and make it rain and shit. Chemtrails, literally spraying chemicals out of planes. spraying and spraying metals or whatever, spraying like what is it, barium, strontium, aluminum, and all this shit. So chemtrails are real. They are spraying chemtrails, and they have been doing it since Operation Popeye, at least, which was the Vietnam War. So it is real. It's not a conspiracy theory at all. And you can watch contrails. Like, let's say that they are contrails, but they're not, though. But let's say that they are, just condensation. Still, you can watch them. They turn into clouds. It's real. Like, I watch it happen every day. Like, make up your mind. Is it a conspiracy theory or not? It's not, but like, make up your mind though, because why are you saying one thing and then saying another thing? And then they say like I saw, I don't know if it's real or not. I think it's real, but like on the weather, on like this weather report on the news or whatever, like the weather guy, they're like, these are, I forget what they call them. They like translate etymologically to man-made clouds or whatever. These are cirrus, whatever the fuck. And like the words translate to man-made. I think, or something like that. Translate to something like that. So like they're calling them clouds, but they're chemtrails though. It's like they're just like gaslighting everybody, and then like kids that grow up like today, like me, like I grew up in the 90s, and I think I used to see less chemtrails when I was a kid. I asked this guy, he's a stalker, but you know, he could just be whatever, but like could be lying about anything at any moment, but like I don't think he was though about this. But I asked him, uh I was like, did you used to see chemtrails when you were a kid? Because he's like 60 something, and he was no, I didn't see. I saw like I was like, he's like, I used to see planes making trails in the sky, but I was like, yeah, but did you used to see like a grid in the sky like we see today, like a bunch of chemtrails everywhere? And he's like, no, I never saw that when I was a kid. And I'm pretty sure I didn't see that when I was a kid too, or at least it wasn't as many when I think back. And then I think they've gotten like worse over time. Like they've gotten like thicker, like in the last like 10 years or whatever. Like they used to be like little thin chemtrails for the most part, and now they're just like big blobs sometimes. I feel like they've gotten like thicker over time, and just like more and more of them. Like they just progressively like ease us into it, you know, and then like gaslight us at the same time. And they're like, these are clouds. And then everybody's looking down at their phone the whole time, so like they're just like, yeah. I'm like, look at those chemtrails, and they're like, what? That's a cloud. I'm like, no, dude, it's a chemtrail. A lot of people do see the chemtrails, though. I'm not saying that it's like everybody is like, duh! But but it seems like a lot of people who are like that, though. They're just like, oh, it's a cloud. the contrail. Thank you for your content. Thank you for helping me understand. For sure, man. I hope I don't make TIs like go crazy and like kill themselves, because like I'm recording like a million things and they're like, oh shit. Like they start seeing sync birds and everything too, and they're like, it's like too much for their brain to handle. Cause like they're just seeing all these things all at once, and they're not like figuring it out by themselves or whatever. I hope I don't make TIs lose their minds, but like I said, like other channels help me figure shit out, so like I would probably, like if I never found gang stalking simulation and all those other channels, I would probably, I don't know what would happen. I probably would have figured things out, but like slowly though, and probably would have like snapped the fuck out. Which I still snapped out a little bit after I like I was like screaming at cars a bunch of times, and I'd like go through phases where I do shit like that and shit, but like if I never found all those channels, I see a red truck and a blue truck syncing right now, and the blue truck has a red ATV in like in the back of the truck. Operation Crossroads, 1946. The government sprayed radiation from planes and naval ships. I think I've heard of that before. I was talking about Operation Popeye though, where they made it rain in Vietnam. I think it was like to fuck up their crops or something. And then like Agent Orange, like yeah, I've sprayed up chemicals a bunch of times, like Agent Orange and shit. There's that song by R.A. the Rugged Man and Vinny Paz. I see the Tonka Express van right now and I walk up in the window. It's called, what's it called? What's that song called? I forget. It's like some Jedi Mind Trick song. Vinny Paz and R.A. the Rugged Man. And it's about Vietnam, the Vietnam War, and like there's these birds flying over this one light car as he turns into the parking lot. I think it's called like Act of Valor or something like that, or some shit. I forget what the song's called, but like it's a true story about R.A. the Rugged Man's verse is a true story about his dad in Vietnam. And like he got Agent Orange sprayed on him or whatever. and like Ari the Rugged Man, like he was born and he was fine, but like his siblings like died from Agent Orange. Like it gets passed on through the DNA, and like his brother and sister died, and then his other sibling I think was fine, but then their child is like has like health problems or whatever from the Agent Orange, and like has an arm missing or whatever the fuck. So it like gets passed down. Like sometimes it'll skip people, and like it gets passed down through the genetics, and then it like they don't know yet how far it gets passed down, or if it's like forever. Like your DNA is just fucked up forever. They don't know yet how far it goes. But like that happened to a bunch of people, like on both sides, the American and the Vietnam. The government knew it too. They did it deliberately to see what happened. And then I saw this thing on Facebook a long time ago. It was like a military like uniform, like a jacket. On the inside of it, it has a tag, and it says that it's like sprayed in pesticides or some shit. Like it has pesticides on it, like some type of chemical that can like cause cancer and shit. It's like they just treat soldiers like fucking lab rats. And then when you think of, I see a bunch of black and silver cars right now, and a guy walking a dog, and there's a bunch of sinks the whole time talking. Then when you think about it, like when you go in the military, it's like they shave your head. It's like a cult initiation. It's like the whole military, like boot camp and everything is like a cult initiation. When you really think about it, it's like a cult. And they just treat soldiers like fucking lab rats and spray chemicals on them. And then when they come home all fucked up from the war, and they got PTSD and shit, they're like, they don't treat them very good when they come back, and they be homeless on the street, fucked up, PTSD and shit, Agent Orange, deformities and shit. And they make them walk around gang stalk. And they're like, they got a robot leg because they got blew off in the war, and they gotta walk around gang stalk every time I walk by. And like, it's not funny, but like, they just make them get up, walk by me, and gang stalk me. Same, if I had found these channel, I wouldn't be here. Keep fighting to understand and expose the truth. Keep using your voice and intelligence to wake yourself and others up. Bioweapons are scary, and STIs can relate to psychological and physical trauma. These weapons, neurological weapons, are worse. Yeah. I've never gotten V2K. Why do they call it V2K, by the way? Shouldn't it be V2S? Because voice skull. What's the K? I see a bunch of red cars and a tow lift syncing up right now. Why is it called V2K? Voice, voice to skull. Is the S silent? Voice to coal. Coal. I figured it out. But I don't get the V2K, or like, maybe they project things in my dreams and that's like some type of V2K or whatever. And I think like I've had like closed eyed like daydream thing, they're like projecting things, I think. Pretty sure they just put them projecting things. But I've never heard voices or anything. And then I've never gotten like crazy directed energy attacks like some people say they get burns and shit. Other than my nose bleeding. I see 2 piglets driving by synced right now. And then one time I passed out, and I think back to that, I'm like, was it them doing that? Like, it could have been them doing that. I'm sure they can do that. They can make you pass out, or they can make you have a heart attack and die, or they can like make you have a stroke, or they can like whatever. They can probably do all that shit. To anybody, not just me, to a bot. And like maybe if a bot like tries to say something and like whistleblow or whatever, they'll like make them have a stroke. I think about that, like maybe they literally can't. Like if they try to go live and talk about it, they'll like their phone will turn off or whatever. Like, and then the men in black will be knocking on their door right there, and they'll be like, "What are you doing?" Cause like I drive by a lot of them and they look like scared or ashamed, or like they don't want to stalk or whatever. A lot of them look like that, and like some of them look like that like every time I see them. It's like 1984. Like I'm rereading 1984. I was rereading 1984 a while back, and like it's like that. It's like they watch all your movements, watch like your words and like all your little micro expressions and everything. And if you get out of line, they're like, ah! And then like the movie Eagle Eye, where she like gets a phone call and the robot's like, "We have your son. Do what we say, or your son will die." And then she's gotta like drive. She gotta turn when the robot tells her to turn. And shit. There's also a one headlight on that movie. I think I forgot to mention that part. Like at the end of the movie, there's a one headlight. In a bunch of these movies, like Get Out, like the headlight gets bashed out at the start of it when they hit the deer, or like there's blood on it or whatever. I think there's another one headlight in that movie at the end of it or something. And then Terminator 2, there's one headlight like when they're getting chased by the police. Or no, the first Terminator, I think. They're getting chased by the police. Yes, first one. Reese and Sarah Connor getting chased by the police, and they like turn a corner. There's a one headlight, and then like all these movies are about gang stalking. And then I think David Fincher's The Game, there's a one headlight. And then like all those movies, there's sirens synced up. Oh, and then I was watching The Manchurian Candidate again. There's a bunch of sirens in that movie that seem synced up, and there's a bunch of people that seem synced up. Like it's like Denzel Washington's being gang stalked. And then what's the other one? Burn After Reading is another one, where like George Clooney is being like gang stalked, and then the other girl, gang stalking simulation made a video of it, like where she's like at the intersection, and then like there's like these guys pulling up, like staring at her, and then there's a helicopter flying over her or whatever. What's the other one? I don't remember. Some other movie. There's a bunch of other movies. And then I think there's some other movies where there's one headlights that's not about gang stalking that I've seen. Where like I said, there's a lot of movies where like the background actors are like synchronized that aren't about gang stalking. The background actors look synchronized like gang stalkers, like throughout the entire movie. And then like there's been like music videos where they have one headlight, and I'm like, I've seen a few different music videos where they have one headlight, and I'm like, I generalize, it's a bioengineered auditory interface. Brain machine interface. I believe this is a minimum of 16 to 18 nodes. Brain stimulators and cranial nerve interfaces that implant to remote early monitor and modulate for behavior modification. Regardless, it's clear they are targeting specific brain regions common to the neural monitoring of mood, inner speech, inner thought decoding, and behavior modification, prefrontal cortex, deep brain, etc. Yup. My refrigerator's turned on synced. I see a bunch of whiteys outside. Like right when I turned my head and look up out the window, the refrigerator turns on. Let's go say what's up to my refrigerator. What's up, bitch? He's a cold one on my refrigerator. Cold hearted. The sink machine. Keeps my food cold though, at least. So gotta give him that. Keeps my food cold. My water heater heats the water good. Sometimes though, like when I'm taking a shower, it seems like it'll like get cold synced. Like the hot water will, or like it'll run out of hot water. I don't know. It seems like it's synced sometimes. But I don't know. It might not be a sync thing. But it wouldn't surprise me if it is. So And then on DB's video I was watching this morning, he was talking about how like they try to get you like they want to keep you from tapping in, and they want to like keep you from like getting into a flow state and shit. That's basically what it is like just non-stop synchronizers to like distract you and like throw you off and like sabotage and like fuck you up in all different types of ways. So like if you like start to tap in and you like get to a flow state, they'll go harder. They'll be like setting off a bunch of sirens and shit. And then like somebody will be coughing a bunch at the same time or whatever to like try to throw you off. And you'll just be like outside with the fucking chainsaw or whatever for like an hour. Or like some shit like that. So like yeah, like if I like start to tap in more, or like if I'm like in a flow state, or like I'm in a good mood, I'm like laughing a lot or whatever, they'll just like do some crazy shit, or they'll like have babies crying synced around me or whatever. And then they'll like let off. They'll like Sundays won't be as stalkered up. It'll just be a kind of chill day. It'll still be stalkered up a lot, but it'll be kind of chill compared to other days. And then maybe even for a couple days, and then they'll start getting crazy again. They'll make a bunch of loud sirens, and then it'll be a bunch of sirens for like weeks straight, or whatever the fuck. It's like let off the gas and then hit you hard again, and then or they'll like make you anticipate that something's gonna happen and then it doesn't happen, or whatever. And then like yesterday at work, we were only supposed to have one delivery, and then like they're like, we're not doing that one today. We'll call these other people, see if we can go out there today. And so like we went and did another thing while we were waiting, and then we come back and they're like, no, nobody answered. So like we're like, okay, see you later, we're gonna leave. So like I walk out, and then I'm just sitting there waiting for the guy to come out, and then he's like, come back in. and then like we had like two different things. We had like a delivery, and then we like went out of town, did another thing. So it was like I go in expecting one thing, and then it's like I go in expecting like we're gonna do one delivery and that's it, and it's gonna be like a short day or whatever. But then it's like a longer day, we're doing a bunch of things, and I think it's an orchestrated thing. I don't know. They'll do things like that, but they'll orchestrate it. And then like I was tired yesterday. They can probably tell that I'm tired. Like they're reading my brain waves or whatever. They can tell I'm tired. Like I'm getting sleepy and like exhausted. So they're like, we'll have them do more things. And then like when we get to the place, they're like, we're just gonna do these things. And then they're like, oh, also this thing. So like this is like that all day, and then like they're like wasting my time deliberately all day too, like just like delaying things with synchronizers. So yep, just never know what to expect. It's gonna be synced-hearted though. Whatever it is always gonna be synced-hearted. Whether it's like just mildly synced-hearted, and just kind of a chill day, and it's like things are like some days it's just a chill day, things are flowing good, like they're just like they're not doing shit like that, but then other days they are doing shit like that. I hear the train horn right now, you see. Right as I take a drink of water, I hear the train horn. Regardless, it's clear they're targeting a specific being of postcranial nerves or key interfaces as well. Right, keep you from tapping in, keep you from your flow state, they're keeping you from accessing your higher function, your higher self. They're using your remote neuromonitoring as their score. Their score? What do you mean a score? Master of puppets. Master! Master! I see a sink truck that's gonna pull in the parking lot sink, and he's driving out right when I walk up to the window. And then there's another guy walking up sink as he drives into the parking lot. Metallica used to be fire back in the day, and then what happened? Like Master of Puppets and this other album, Injustice for All. I hear the train horn again as I walk into here. It stopped and then it started again when I walked into here. I see a bunch of black sink head cars. So trying to think if there's anything else before I get off of here, or if you got any more questions, ask away or whatever. I want to make a bunch of playlists, like Syncbird playlist and like and like one headlight playlist or whatever, but like it's just too many. It's just too much shit. It's just too much. And like it's just too much work. But I'm uploading planes in the plane playlist. Every time I see a plane, I put it in the plane playlist, or helicopter or whatever. But like, I could make a telelift playlist. I could make a cop playlist. And have like 1,000,000 videos in each one. If I have the time. And if I had an infinite amount of time and patience and whatever. The guy walking in front of the intersection as a white SUV drives through it. I just see him walking up, and then he does that, and I'm like, yep. And then he like turned and started walking this way as he walked in front of the intersection. He was like walking this way, and then he turned and starts walking this way. And then he's like touching the back of his head. I don't know if that's a synchronizer or if he hurt his head or something. Or he's like listening, he's like holding his ear, listening to the CIA or something. I don't know what he's doing. It might have been a synchronizer. I think he did it at the place where he started to touch his head there. And then he's just like walking like that. So I don't know if that was a synchronizer or what. But they're always like scratching the back of their head, seeing. Or they'll just like scratch your head and then they'll be like. They always do that maneuver. They're just like. I don't know what that means. If it's like some type of symbolism, Masonic symbolism or something. Because like they all do that. They're always like I don't know. They don't always do that. Sometimes they just like scratch their head, or sometimes they just touch the back of their head or whatever. My one coworker used to always do that, like every day. He'd always be scratching his head like that. So I don't know if that's some type of symbolism thing or what, but it's a sync-tarded thing that they do. There's probably other TIs that see the exact same maneuver. Where you scratch the back of their head, scratch their head, and then rub the back of their head. There's probably other TIs. We all see the same thing a million times. We've seen it at synced up moments, and we all have a million videos of it. People scratching their heads and touching their noses synced and shit. Pointing syncs. A lot of us see the pointing syncs. I see pointing sync all the fucking time. They be pointing sync. They be walking up sync. Walking up sync. I hear someone walking in the hallway. I think they're walking up sync. As they sit down, they be walking up sync. Walking up, walking up. Walking up, walking up. Walking up sync. Walking up sync. Walking up sync.